Happy Saturday, print fam. Welcome back to the print shop. I just finished watching Just a Printer's video. I'll link it down in the description. And there were a couple of things that he talked about that he's had his C3070, which is one model lower than this. And I don't know if I'd call it lower than this. They're just different. Mine's the C3080, which from what I understand, the difference is mine will do 80 pages per minute and his will do 70. We do have different configurations, but he had a few concerns. So go watch his video first if you want to understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about, or go watch it right after this one. But let me kind of go through a couple of things that I saw that he said, or Dan, I will just say your name, Dan. I know you watch the videos. Dan had a couple complaints about his that I don't have with mine, and I think it's just because of the configuration that I have versus what Dan has. So I have a different finisher here than Dan has, just a printer. He, from what I believe it is, I think it's the folder unit or the inserter unit, and I don't have that. This is, I guess, the mid-level booklet finisher. So this has a larger exit tray, and this tray, will drop. So as it prints, it allows you to stack up a bunch of paper. One of the complaints that he had was that he sometimes has to put like a cardboard box in here. I have these little flipper wheels that it stacks and collects, and after every page it goes and stacks. And then this, if you're doing big prints, you can drop that and it keeps paper down. I usually just leave it up, and then when I'm doing booklets, they come out of there. It has, I think, the same internal finishing options. I can do the 3-hole punch, which it empties here, so I'm assuming it's this feeder system, and then stapling and stuff happens in here. He mentioned with his that it doesn't auto purge jams, which again, mine's a little bit different. So we have the fuser. If it jams in here, it'll purge out of this first system, and it will purge right here. This is like a decurling unit. I'm not even sure what the make and model is. I don't think it's listed anywhere. But basically it's just got a bunch of things where it loops and sends paper and whatnot. So if it jams past the fuser, then it purges out here. If it jams during the finishing process, it purges through here. This is the IQ, which does automatic color calibration as well as front to back registration. That's one of the reasons why I like it. My printer came pre-configured. So I bought the floor model. So I got what came with the printer. I got a killer deal because of it, which is why I have the bells and whistles and features that I have. I am trying to see about maybe adding another finisher or two in here in the future, just because I'm all about automation, and the less I have to move something to offline finishers, the more that I can just let the press do it. I would love to do that. I know it's slower, but like I said, I'm more about automation and having less touches, less possible room for error if the machine can just spit it out done. But that's why I have what I have. I probably would have done similar stuff to, what Dan has. Like, I probably wouldn't have got the audio document feeder. I probably would have just got the flatbed, just because it's all about saving money. But again, mine was the floor model. So if you are looking at purchasing a printer, that's definitely something that you might want to consider, because I think it saved me like $30,000 to buy this model as is from the floor rather than buying a brand new one. So on to the office. I've got that book to make for my neighbor, as well as a couple of prints, and then just a couple of other things to work on today. All right, guys, I'm loading some new paper in the printer, so I just thought I would show you what I do. So I just put this Mohawk paper into tray number 5. That's the bottom one. So what I do is I come over here to the control panel. I'm gonna click paper settings, and then I click on tray 5, and then I click change settings. And this is where I do the type, the size, weight, color, etc. And for this, like paper type, come over here. It is just a smooth white, so I'm just gonna leave it under glossy. It is 120 GSM. So under weight, like that, and I want number 5 since it's 120. And the color is white. There's no holes. Both sides adjust. I don't ever touch this because I have the IQ system that will do it for me automatically. And so everything else is good here. I can go ahead and click OK. So now tray 5 is programmed with this specific paper in it. Now I could register this paper, meaning I could save it in the machine. So I have done that with, I think, tray 3, maybe tray 4. Tray 4. So you can see I saved it as a profile for my Tango paper. I'll eventually do that with my most common papers, but right now I just don't want to. So tray 5 is programmed for now this smooth white paper. Now as soon as I'm done with this, I've got to cut or do a cover, and so I'll switch it to this paper and load, unfortunately, one sheet of that in the machine to print the cover that I need. So this is for the book that I'm making for my neighbor. He even, funnily enough, went to FedEx office to buy this clear sheet, which I have those on in hand. And this is blue. He said he wanted black, but it's blue. I have black on hand, so it's kind of funny. Oh well. So I'm printing this book for him, as well as a couple of other pages. He said he needs, I think, 18 single-sided, and it's a 2-page document. So just a couple of prints today. I'm also finishing up a calendar with the local fire department. Sent that off. They had a couple of tweaks. Sent the final tweak off to him just now, so hopefully they'll come back and give me approval for it so that we can get those printed as well. So now I've got this done. Gotta put the coil on it. All right, so I have to coil bind it on this side. And so typically what I'll do is I'll flip the book over as I'm putting it in. So I'll set the book to the side here so that I'm always coil binding the top on the left side of the machine. So I stack my paper, make sure it's lined up. And then I just move it to the left. And then this is what it looks like over here. So then I take it, and I take a stack of papers, and I flip it like this. Again, just make sure that all the pages are aligned. The thicker the paper, the less pages I can do at a time. And then I always stack it away from the coiled side first, and then I'll stack it on the coiled side. But you can use this. I don't have it connected to power, but you can feed the coil on that way. But I usually just find, especially with just doing one, that it's just as easy. I don't usually do it here, but just so you guys can see it, I'll just put it on by hand. Typically, once you get a couple of them started, it's just a matter of, if I had it connected to power all the time, if this shop was intended to actually be a print shop, then I'd probably turn it on, but when I'm just doing one, it's not worth it. And then you've got your finisher shears. The red dot needs to be up. So you come here and pinch it. So you can see that it puts a little 90-degree. Now, and that's when, I guess I'm on the right side. When I'm doing the left side, I flip it over so the dot's down. So again, puts that 90-degree. Now, this book is all finished. So, got a clear cover. Then we have cardstock. The internal pages are 32 pound. Then there's a blank white page that again is cardstock, and then the back cover. All right, so the job came through for these NCRs finally. So I thought I would walk you through the steps. Also, black print, thanks Dan, from Just a Printer. He said black print just means that when you write on it, black is what transfers through. You can print color on these. So these are 3-part reverse, 8.5 by 11s. So that means that I take them and I put them directly in one of these trays. And when I finish them, so if I come up here to my finishing, when they come out, I want them to be face up, normal order. Because if you look inside here, it says print side up. Oop, better show you. Print side up. So there's the pink, yellow, and then white. So it's gonna grab the pink, and it's a straight path through. Well, it's not straight, it goes up. But pink is gonna come out first. So I'll show you. I ran 2 tests. I ran this one through tray 5 and this one through tray 1. I printed it wrong because tray 1 flips it. And so it ended up printing on the wrong side of the paper. This one, with it being face up, then this one comes out, and then yellow comes out, and then white comes out. And then, just to make sure I did it right, I wrote on it, so, hello there, General Kenobi. And it's perfect. So now I need to print 100 of these. He's actually doing color. So I'm gonna actually load the paper up, print 1 to make sure it looks good in color, and then we'll print the rest of them. The color version looks fantastic. So the one thing to keep in mind when doing these is because they're 3-part and I want 100 of them, I actually have to print 300. So keep that in mind. All right, they're all done. Now I gotta take them and put the the fan apart compound on it. All right, print fam, I'm gonna call it a night. A little after 10. The sweet sound of money printing in the next room. I don't know if I told you about it, but I'm working on calendars and got them all figured out and situated, so now they're all printing. I had to order some 6mm spiral coils, so I'll leave that down in the description, what I ordered for those. And yeah, I've got the NCR forms and the padding press. I'll probably put that on the compound on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions about what I do, why I do it, how I do it, etc., you can leave that down in the comments. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. Monetarily, you can use the affiliate links down in the description. Thank you, Cam, for editing the videos. And I think by the time this is live, I either am at or am home from PPAI. But if I'm at PPAI, let me know if you want me to go visit any vendors for you. Thanks as always for watching, Print Fam. I did not meet my goal today. About 50% there, as far as invoiced. So, close, but not quite. See you, Print Fam.